Hey friends, welcome back to my channel and to today's video, which is a beginner's guide to Procreate. Last year I had made a 15-minute beginner's guide from scratch for Procreate, but here is a extended video which goes a little more in detail and has more clarity than the 15-minute tutorial. If you have never opened Procreate before, then that's perfectly okay, because I'm going to guide you through the entire process of becoming an amazing digital artist. So if you're ready, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends and family. Also like it. And now let's begin. Okay, so first we need to download Procreate. So head on over to the App Store, search for Procreate, and you can download it. It's not for free. I think it cost $10 or so when I downloaded it. And let me tell you, it's very much worth it if you are interested in art, and it's a lifetime subscription. So I would say that yes, please do download it. And once you have, let's continue. So now let's open Procreate, and you will find yourself in a pretty much empty gallery. You will find these top 4 artworks only, and maybe a few more sample artworks which Procreate has already provided for you to get an example of what all you can do in Procreate. So now let me just guide you through this gallery screen. There's nothing too intimidating, so let me just show you. It's pretty simple. So first of all, we have on the rightmost corner, we have the plus button. We'll come to that in a minute. And then you have photo. So when you see photo, basically when you click on photo, all that happens is that it'll take you to your gallery, and you can import any photo from your photo gallery. And similarly with import as well, it'll take you to your files, and you can just download anything from there. So these two are just for importing any photo that you may want to. Next we have a select. So when we click on select, what happens is that it'll give you the option to select. I will show you here. So I'm going to just tap on each of these top 4 artworks because it's a duplicate, right? I already have them here, so I want to delete them. So I will select on them, and I can click on delete. It'll give me this warning, and I can click on delete, but I will just show you something else for a moment, then I'll delete it. So then we have is duplicate right next to it, which is obvious. It will duplicate everything one more time. Then we have is share. So okay, so I have not opened this once before, so it cannot share, but otherwise it will give you options to share. All these are pretty straightforward things and nothing to worry about. And when I say preview, it'll just fill the screen with these particular artworks so that I can preview how they look in the end. And lastly, we have stack. When I hit on stack, it basically makes a folder. It's a folder. You can click on the folder so that you won't have to so that you can organize your artworks, and inside that as well you have all these options of selecting. So now also we can rename a stack. So you just tap on the word stack, and you can just rename it to whatever you want. Okay, I'm just going to put that for now. And now let's say that you want to delete one individual artwork or duplicate it. All you have to do is on the thumbnail of the artwork, just swipe to the left, and you will get these 3 options, and you can just click on delete, and it is deleted. Okay. So now let us come back to this plus, because this plus is where your journey as an artist begins. Okay, so let's begin your journey as an artist. So click on the plus in the rightmost top corner in the gallery, and you will get all of these options. You may not get all of these actually. You will get quite a few sample canvases. Okay, these are a list of canvas sizes and canvas settings. You can create your own canvas. I will explain all that. Oops. I opened a canvas by mistake, but don't worry. So I will show you everything right now. So the first option we have is screen size, and then we have square, and then the next one is what I have created, the next few. Then you have A4, and you have quite a few options which are just different sizes of canvas. Digital canvas, what size do you want, they're asking, and what quality do you want. So I will explain that. But now if you just go to any of these and you swipe to the left, you'll get the option of edit and delete. When I go to edit, it'll give me a few options, and I will show you this. But because it's the same thing, it's the same set of options which come when you click on create a new canvas. So I'll explain those options together right now. So if you go see the top part of this over here, you'll see another plus next to the word new canvas. So click on that and you'll again come to this edit canvas screen. Okay, so let me show you and guide you through this. First of all, when it's where it's written untitled canvas, you can just tap on that and rename it to whatever you want, whatever canvas you want. Okay, then we have the width. So what width do you want your canvas to be? And you have many options here. You can select it, you can type whatever value you want in millimeters, centimeter, inches or pixels. Now I will just put a random value right now. I've just put 1800 pixel by 1200 pixel, but you can put whatever value you want. Let's just say 1400 pixel. You can put that, that's totally fine. Next we have is DPI. Now this is actually a measure of the resolution, and normally Procreate gives us default DPI depending on the size of your canvas, but I like to usually keep mine anywhere between 400 to 600, but 300 is also a good DPI. So you can set it to whatever you want or leave it as the default version, but I would suggest keep it at least around 300. Then you have maximum layers. This you cannot alter. This is what Procreate will calculate. It will see based on what size and resolution you have given, and then it will tell you that okay, this is your maximum layers, and here it's telling me that 200 is my maximum layers. Okay, oops, yeah, okay. So next we have, let's go, now this was in the dimensions section. Next I'll go to color profile. So here you have a lot of options. I'll just tell you a very easy trick. Okay, so in case you are making an artwork to display it digitally, a digital website or a digital gallery, then you will always stick with RGB. You don't need to go around with all these different options. Just stay with display P3, that's fine, unless you already know how to work all these RGBs and everything. Otherwise just stick with display P3 if you are doing a digital display. Next, if you are printing this out as a poster or a calendar or whatever, then you will need to switch over to CMYK and let it be generic CMYK profile. Okay, so for digital displaying RGB, let it be at the first option. If you're printing it out, CMYK and let it be at the first option. Okay, so this is actually a color profile, and CMYK, it doesn't make that much of a difference, but yes, it makes a difference. So it's better you just stay RGB for digital and CMYK for printing. Next we have is time-lapse settings. So it will automatically, unless you disable it, Procreate will create a time-lapse of your artwork, and you can select with what resolution you want that time-lapse to be. I've just set it at the default. And then you have is canvas properties. Here you can select, you just tap on this white colored circle and you can select what color do you want your background of this canvas to be by default. Okay, so and background hidden means, do you want your background to be hidden by default or do you want a background? Okay, so this you can just leave it at this, because this you can change even later in the artwork. So then I will click on create and it will create this new canvas for me. Alright, so now we have our canvas created. So what do we do now? So first thing, I'll just tell you a few gestures. Now if you use any two fingers and just like a phone, you can just, when you bring your fingers together, the canvas will become smaller. When you push them out, it will become bigger. Okay, and I like to just keep it at around this size and keep adjusting it while I'm doing the artwork. And towards the left, what you have here, this section here, towards the left, what you have is our adjustment sliders to adjust the brush size and opacity. I will come to this in just a minute. Okay, I think to make things easier for you, I will just switch to a light mode and I'll be right back. Okay, so I think this looks a bit better. So this light mode for recording a video, but otherwise while drawing I like to stick with dark mode. I'll show you where to switch it just a little further in the video, so make sure to stick around till the end. Okay, so we'll start off with the right topmost corner, this black circle. This is your color section. Okay, so we're starting off going through all the features given here. Now unlike Photoshop, Procreate is not intimidating at all. It's a very simple layout, but it can do wonders. So let me show you. So when we click on this circle right there on the top rightmost corner, this is your color palette. You will land up in this disk section. So here you can just select, let's say I want red, so I will move my slider on the outermost circle to red. Then this inner slider I'll move to see if I want dark red or brownish color or exact red. What color do I want? Now if I want a perfect red, all I'll do is I'll double tap anywhere near that, anywhere near this area, and it will take me to the perfect red. If I want a perfect black, I'll double tap near this black section in the inner circle, it will give me a perfect black. If I want a perfect white, I'll do that near the white section. Okay, so then we have below that is history. This is just of what all colors you have used previously, and then you have is a palette there. Now I'll come to palettes in just a second. So what we can do is, next we have is classic. So all these are just different ways to view your colors, the same colors in different ways. Here you have the sliders, here you have more control if you want it to be less saturated or more saturated, if you want it darker or what hue you want, it's more controlled here. But if you want to just select any color around that, this disc is better. I use the disc and classic the most, because sometimes while shading I like to decrease only the darkness and not the saturation. That I might just use the slider and drag it down. Next we have is harmony. So what it will do is that it will just give you complementary colors, and if you tap on the word complementary, it will give you different options of complementary. One second. So I'll put it at a brighter color, then this becomes brighter. Okay, so here it will give me 3 complementary colors. If I move any of them anywhere, it will give me 2 other complementary colors. So like this we have quite a few options of complementary colors, which are very fun to play around with, and you can do that as well. Next we have is value. Now this is if you have the exact hexadecimal code, you can just type it in here and it will give you that exact color. Okay, and here if you want to adjust exactly the HSB values or the RGB values, you can do that exactly over here. Then we have is palettes. There's palettes here. So if you see here, this is a list of palettes. You won't have these many, but you will have a set of sample palettes which are really good actually, and you can always create your own by clicking on the plus, and it'll give you these options. Now if you select new from photos, what it'll do is that you click on the photo and then it will create a palette based on the major colors in that photo. But I'll just click on create new palette. So all these options are quite self-explanatory. You can play around with them and it'll be quite easy for you. Okay, so when I click on a new palette, I can just click on the word untitled and rename it here as whatever I want. Okay, and if I go to cars, it basically shows the same colors but with the name of that color. Okay, so and if I want to use this palette from image here, this below one, then as the default palette, I'll just click on the 3 dots here and I will click on the word set as default. When I say set as default, the same thing will come here at the bottom of my other 3 color sections. Okay, and the last thing in the color part is, do you see this top bar above the word colors, the small gray color bar? If you just pull on that, you can separate it out so that you can see and just change the colors while you are drawing, and click on. Okay, so next I would like you to come to this paintbrush over here, which you see towards the end of the right section. We will come to the other 3 after we do the paintbrush. So click on the paintbrush and you will see this drop down. Now this is where I got really confused when I was first learning Procreate, and I got really confused over here because I don't know. So I'm going to just explain this part to you in a little more detail. So first what happens is, when I click on this is your brush library. Okay, and you will get a huge number of default brushes, and normally the default brushes are more than enough to do any kind of artwork. Okay, so now what you see on the left, all these words: sketching, inking, drawing, calligraphy, painting, artistic, airbrushing, they're all folders. Okay, they're all files. So if you see, open each file, you'll see a huge number of brushes. Okay, so each of all of these are just files. Okay, and when you click on each file, it will take you into another folder over here, not folder, the contents of that file, which is all of these brushes here. Okay, so this is basically all the brushes. They've organized it into different folders here. So if you want to do painting, then they've given here their default painting brushes in the painting folder. Similarly, they've given calligraphy brushes in the calligraphy folder. Okay, so I hope you get that part, because it's a similar thing in the smudge and eraser too. I'll come to it, but don't worry, even if you haven't got it, you'll get the hang of it once you just start drawing a little bit with Procreate. Okay, so next what we're going to do is I'll show you a little more here in the brushes. So let's say I want to do some sketching. So I'll click on the sketching folder under brush library. I'll go to the sketching folder, and then I have this huge list of sketching brushes. I will click on whichever one I want. Let's say I want the 6B pencil or the HP pencil or the Procreate pencil. Anything I want, I can select. And all I have to do is just tap on the screen and then move my stylus or finger around, and I can draw. Okay, I can just keep drawing here. And let's say later I want to ink this. This is a sketch. Let's say I want to ink it, then I'll go to the inking section. I'll choose whatever inking pen I want. There are quite a few options here. Let's say I want the studio pen, and let's say I want black. So I'll go to the color section, that colored circle on the top, and I'll say I want perfect black. I'll double tap there at the bottom of the black color, and then I have black. So you can vary the pressure, more pressure, thicker the line, less pressure. And here see, I can adjust the size. I want a very thick brush. This top bar, I will move it up. Now I want to change it back. I want to reduce. Okay, so see here, thicker is more pressure, thicker, less pressure, thinner. Okay, so now let's say that you have your brush size is 40% and you want to reduce the size for just one stroke, but then you want to come back to the same size. So let's say now I want to keep it at 40, but then I reduce the percentage, and now I've forgotten what was the percentage of my previous size. So all I have to do is, when I was at the 40, if I want to keep it at that same size, I just have to tap on that rectangle and click on the plus. So now even if I reduce the size to just do a few strokes and I want to come back, I can just tap on that and I'll be back at the 40%. And the same thing is also applicable for the opacity. If I reduce the opacity, it will be more transparent. If I increase it, it will be more opaque. Okay, so the next thing is the smudge tool and the eraser tool. Okay, so the smudge tool and eraser tool, they have the exact same brush library. But all that this does is, so I'll just take this old beach. It's more of a watercolor brush. So now I've already painted something using the brush, okay, using the paint brushes. And actually it's a good thing to always use the same brush for the smudging and the erasing. So what I'll do is just I'll long hold the smudge tool and I will long hold this and it will paint with the current brush. That is, it will paint with this smudge tool brush if I just long hold the icon of the brush. Okay, the same thing will happen here. I'm just long holding that, so now it's smudging with this. So when I say smudge, it basically is just smudging everything together. It's helpful for shading and actually a soft brush. I prefer a soft brush. This as well, you can increase or decrease the size, and it just gives you this smudged effect. Okay, now this is the eraser tool. Eraser tool also has the exact same brush library. If you want to erase with the same brush, just long hold that eraser and you can erase with the same brush. That is the old beach, you can just erase. But I usually just like to erase using 6B, increase, and you can just start erasing. Okay, this as well, more pressure means it erases better, less pressure means it will erase more lightly. Okay, and the same with the opacity, it's just like this. Okay, so now the layers. So layering system is a little more complicated, so I'll come back to that a little later by showing you guys an example artwork. So for now I'll just clear this layer, and let me show you the tools on the left hand top. Okay, so for that let me just quickly draw a circle. 1 second here. Okay, let me quickly draw a circle. Okay, so when I'm drawing that, let me show you this. So when you draw a circle and you just long hold it, it will snap into whatever position you want. Click on the edit at the top. You can change it and adjust the shapes of the circle. Another tip, what you can do is when you draw the circle, put one finger on the screen, and that will also help in snapping it. Okay, and also if you want to undo something, you will need to double tap. Just use 2 fingers and just tap on the screen once and it will undo. And if you want to redo, use 3 fingers and tap on the screen. And if you want to remove all this and you want to see just the artwork, tap on the screen with 4 fingers and it disappears, and tap again with 4 fingers to bring it back. But this, you need to enable this. I will show you that in a second. Okay, so let me draw a circle. Now if the figure is closed, you can fill it in. How do you fill it in? You hold this top, this colored part, this black circle or whatever color, and you just bring it in here and it's filled in. Okay, so now let's go to this arrow here. When you click on it, it basically gives you these options to increase or decrease the size. So you can flip and again flip, rotate, then you can fit it to the canvas. There are so many settings here that you can do. Freeform means you can just do all these things. Uniform is just only scaling it up or scaling it down. Distort is quite fun. It is to make it, you can just move it around in any way that you like. Same with wrap. Wrap is like you're literally wrapping it around a can. It's quite useful, all of these tools. So next we have is this S. That's actually the selection tool. And here as well let me go back. Yeah, so here as well you have quite a few options like freehand, rectangle and ellipse. Let me show you what happens. So if I'm at freehand and I've selected add, what it will do is I will circle this place and I'll tap on add. Then it will remove all the other parts. So now I cannot draw on any other part, but I can draw in only the part that I've selected. If I want to do it the ulta way, that is I want only this part to not be painted on, then I'll click on remove and it will let me draw anywhere else but not on that point. And if I want to switch this off, I just tap on that S once again and it's again free to draw. So I'm double tapping now to undo all this. Okay, so the same thing are all these features, and I can go to rectangle, will give me this rectangle. Now what you can do here is swipe down with 3 fingers and you'll get this list of copy paste, and you can cut, or you can, and then you can paste and you get this. Okay, so these are all the different things that you can do around here. Of course there is a lot more, but since this is just a beginner's video, I'm not going into too much detail of everything. Next we have the magic wand, that is the adjustments, one of my favorite. For this, let me just fill this in with a different color. Okay, you'll see why. So the first thing is hue, saturation and brightness. This is where you can change the color, the saturation and the brightness. I actually have an entire video about this which I will link in the description if you want to learn exactly what happens in all of the adjustments. Here I'll show you very briefly. So this as well is just to adjust the colors. You can see all this in detail in my other video, link in the description. And this as well, these are all just different ways to adjust your colors. If you are familiar with Photoshop, then this is very similar. So now Gaussian blur is something that we use a lot, where you just slide like this to blur it out. It's somewhat similar to the smudge tool, but it's a uniform blur everywhere. Now if I just click on this down arrow and I click on pencil and I just slide it over, now it will blur out only the areas where I move my stylus or my pencil. Okay, so the next thing we have is motion blur. Motion blur is, it moves as though the object is moving. Then we have perspective blur, where you can make it like a perspective and everything else is blurring out. Then we have noise, that's to give it this noisy effect. It looks good if you're going to use it on calligraphy and you want to make the calligraphy look glittery. I have a video on that as well, link in the description. And sharpening I can is to just make these pixels a little more straighter, like this. You can see it's not very noticeable and I don't use it a lot, even though in Photoshop I think people do use it quite a bit. So next we have bloom just gives it a little more glow, and of course there are settings here which you can play around with. Then you have glitch, you have different ways of this glitching. You can make it look, you can give it any effect that you like. It's quite fun, all of these. Then you have half tone as well gives it this kind of effect. Then you have a newspaper effect. You have, these are all just designs and adjustments. We don't use all of these as much. This as well will just change the color a little bit like this. Okay, and then we have liquify is used quite a bit. Okay, so liquify especially the push tool here, you can increase and decrease the size, pressure. You don't need to and momentum also. If you increase, then it will just go with the momentum, but I'll just leave it at 0 for now. So this is used a lot to adjust. So let's say that this part of my drawing has come out and I want to reduce it, then I can just pull it in and adjust it like that. So liquify tool is used quite a bit. Then twirl right is as well, just to twirl left will give it this effect. Pinch will bring it all in. Expand will expand it all out. Crystallize gives it the crystally effect. Edge will bring it back, will remove the crystally effect. And if I say reconstruct, then all the liquify will get removed, everything will be undone. Okay, so that is that part. Now clone is if you want to clone a particular part. Now this clone I actually find quite confusing, so I'm not going to really get into that, and you don't really require it a lot as well, so it's fine. This has been irritating me from the time, so I'll go to my eraser, select just a studio pen, and I'll erase. Oh, also we can, in the brush library, you can create your own folders like this, rename it, and you can create your own brush. It's a huge process and it's quite complicated, so I wouldn't really advise you to get into it right now if you're a beginner. So it's best that you just stick to the default brushes. Okay, and then lastly we have is the wrench. Now wrench is quite useful. So by default in actions you will be at the canvas section. So let's see what all you can do. So if you go to crop and resize, you can actually increase the size of the layer. This is a new feature in Procreate 5.2 I think, and I really like this feature because later if I want all of them to be uniform, I couldn't do it before. I had to duplicate the picture and then create a new canvas, and a lot of stunts had to be done. But now it's very easy, and now the size has got increased of the canvas. Okay, then we have is animation assist. I'm not going to get into animation, but you can do a little animation in Procreate, and there are several videos on YouTube which you can follow along to. For that I will link some in the description for you to see. Then page assist as well is kind of, it's just where you delete all the other layers. Now this as well I can't really explain it with only one layer, but never mind, you won't really require it as much. I'll show it to you but a little later in the video. Then we have drawing guide. I use this a lot. That is, it just gives you this graph at the background so that you know, so that it's easier for you to do your drawing. And there are different options as well. So if you go to edit drawing guide, you have different shapes of graphs and you can increase or decrease. For perspective as well, you tap anywhere, it will give you the perspective lines. You can increase or decrease the thickness, symmetry as well. So whatever you draw, so if I draw anything here, it will draw over there as well. But what you need to remember is when you create a new layer, that assist gets removed, and all you have to do is tap on the thumbnail of that layer and click on drawing assist to switch it on, and now you have that again over here. And when I go back to edit drawing guide and I go to options, if I click on radial and I switch on rotational symmetry, then this is really great for drawing mandalas, and it's very satisfying as well. Okay, so then we have reference is very interesting. So reference is basically you can reduce or increase, and you can move it about by holding on the top and tap on it to remove the bars. And you can go to one second. Yeah, you can go to image and you can import an image if you want to use it as a reference while you're drawing. Okay, then we have is flip horizontal. It will flip the whole canvas horizontal or vertical. And then you have this canvas information. Here you can sign, put your signature there. Then this will tell you about all the statistics and how long did you take, 22 minutes for this artwork. Then we have add is basically if you want to insert a photo or add text. Now adding text as well, we just have to double click, and here you have, click on that A, and you have all the fonts here. You can increase or decrease the size, change the color, all the text features are there. Then here are all the cut, copy, paste. These are all quite straightforward in the add. Share as well, if you want to share with the layers or if you want to share a compressed one, and in which version do you want to share it. Next we have is video. So video, this is basically so if you click on time lapse replay, it will show you a time lapse of the entire video, and you can also export it by clicking on export time lapse. If you want to for some reason switch off time lapse recording, you can always do so over there. I'm just going to say don't purge. Yeah, so next we have is preferences. So in preferences, this is where you can switch off to light or dark mode. I actually like the dark mode. For now I've kept it for light. Then you have is right hand interface, will basically move this bar to the right. Okay, and when we are here, can you see this small square in the middle? So if you click on that, so or if you hold your finger on the screen for a long time, the color picker appears and you can choose your color. Okay, and then we have this brush cursor. If you switch it off, one second, I'll just go to a new layer. So if you switch it on, you can see the brush as it's moving. I don't think it's really visible here. Wait, so if you can, you see that circle outside? Don't know if you can, but yeah, brush cursor is just only if you want it. And all these things you don't need to worry about. Just go for now, that is, since we're just starting, so it's fine. You can just let it all be in default. If you go to gesture controls over here, you can disable it if you want to draw only with stylus and you don't want it to touch and you don't want to draw with your finger. And this disable, undo, redo, I would suggest to keep it on, because when you tap with 2 fingers it will undo, 3 fingers it will redo. Okay, that's a very good one. So here these are just some preferences. You can leave them at default or you can play around with them and change them. Then you have help, which is all these help sections. If you click on what's new, you will get this thing. You will get this where you can download the model pack of 3D. And that is also what we're going to see. We'll see it very briefly today and not get into a lot about it, but I will just show it to you. Okay, so we're going to go to the help section under the wrench tool that's right next to the gallery, and you can click on what's new and download the model pack of 3D, because you cannot create a 3D model in Procreate just yet, but you can create them in other apps. I'll link the names of the apps in the description, and you can import them in Procreate and later you can draw on them. So all you have to do, I'll just show you very briefly, just click on the plus, select any layer, click on a plus, and you can add the layer and you can add it. Okay, so this is for, okay, one second. Okay, I'll just show you on another layer. I'll show you on this one. Okay, so I'll put a plus, and now I can paint on this in any brush that I want. Now if you tap on a brush 2 times, it will come to this brush studio where you can increase or decrease the spacing. Look here how it's happening. But all this you don't need to really worry about. You can change the colors and all this. So I've done a video of exploring this. I'll link that as well in the description, but it's okay, you don't really need to worry about this for now, because 3D modeling is still quite new in Procreate. Now let's move on to layering and then we'll finish up this video. Okay my friends, now I will show you layers, quite simply what it is. Now this is a drawing that I did. If you would like to learn how to do it too, I have a 1 minute tutorial again linked in the description. But it has just a few layers, so it's perfect to show you guys how to work around with layers. Okay, so let me show you. So first you click here on these two squares and you get all your layers. Now why do you exactly use layers is actually so that you can put things below one another. Like I want this tree trunk, right, this one. If I click on this checkbox, I can either make it appear or disappear. Now if I move this on top, look at this. This will happen because this is the tree leaves, right, and all these leaves are actually have now come below the trunk layer, and that's why it'll be seen like this, which is quite weird. So I'm going to move that down, and now these leaves are above the trunk, and that's why it's seen as though it's really above the trunk. Okay, so this is used also in case you make a mistake. It's easy to erase and undo and everything, because now let's say I just made a mistake here. I just did this scribbling. Now if the whole thing was, the entire painting was in one layer, then it would be very hard, because all these small leaves would, I would have to redraw, and it would be very complicated. But right now all I need to do is I can easily erase all of these things, and since it's on the same layer as this trunk, I can just use the smudge tool. I'll use this flat brush from the painting section, and I can just slowly keep smudging, and it will get smudged, and I'll be able to fix it somehow. Okay, so that's another advantage of layering. I'm telling you guys quite briefly over here. Of course there's a lot to figure out while you're practicing layering, but I'll just tell you guys the basics. Okay, so now this layer here, first this was the sketch that I had done. Now I switched it off. Now I don't want this layer anymore, so I'll swipe it to the left and I'll say delete. Now if you swipe a layer and you click on lock, what happens is that you cannot really change anything on that layer. You cannot draw on that layer. See, it will give you this, I'll tell you this. Okay, so I'm going to unlock, and only then it will let me delete that layer, because that was empty. Okay, so the next thing we have in layers is, if you tap on the thumb, I'll show you in this one. So if you tap on the thumbnail of that layer, you get quite a few options. I'll tell you very briefly a few of these. So I'm on the trunk layer, I tapped on the thumbnail, and rename, select, copy, fill layer, it will just fill it with whatever color is selected. All these are pretty self-explanatory. Clear will erase the entire layer. Now alpha lock. So alpha lock means that basically I cannot draw anywhere on the screen except in the part that already has color. The rest of the layers which is blank, the rest of the space which is blank on that particular layer, I cannot touch it. Okay, so I'm going to remove that for now. Then we have mask. So mask is basically, if I use black color, it's like erasing, but then later if I realize that, oh my god, I did not want to erase that, but now I can't really do anything about it, all you can do is delete that mask, and there we have it. Now masking also, I have a 1 minute tutorial in the description. Okay, then we have is clipping mask. Clipping mask is again interesting. I'll show you that with another layer. Okay, so let me just draw this circle and fill it in. Now I'll create a new layer on top of that, and this blank layer I will select clipping mask. So what it does is that whatever I draw on this layer, it won't let me draw anywhere except where there's color. So I'm not able to draw above this yellow part because it's clipped onto this. I can draw completely inside this yellow part, but not above that. This is a great technique for shading, and it's very handy. Okay, so the next thing we have is invert. It'll just change the color to the opposite one. Then if you make it a reference, again is another topic. I think we can do that in another video. So comment down below if you want me to make a video about references. And then we have merge down. It will basically merge that layer with the one below, and combine down, it will make a new group. So how do you make a new group? All you have to do is just swipe to the right on whatever layers you want to group together, then click on group, and you get a group. This just makes it easier for organizing in case you have a lot of layers, which does happen in a lot of complicated artworks. And lastly we have this. Okay, do you see this O over here? This O, everything else is N, but some of these are O's, one second, are O's or L's. So I'll show you what it is. So just tap on that O and usually it will be in normal. Now these are just different color filters. You can see I don't really know the exact word what it's called. So if you see, it's basically on each of these settings will let in certain pixels with certain colors of light. This again is actually a topic of its own, but usually if you want to make that layer more brighter, you can just go and put this setting to add or color dodge. But this one I had kept it at overlay because this gave me the desired effect that I wanted. So I usually just play around with this and see, oh, this looks nice, no, that looks nice, and then I just leave it at that. Okay guys, so I think that's it in a beginner's guide to Procreate. And the last thing is, you can just click here, share it with all your friends and family. And that was it in today's video, everyone. Hope it helped you. If it did, please do subscribe and share it with your friends and family, and also like this video. Comment down below if you have any questions and I will try my best to reply. Alright, that's it. Here on the screen you will see a few more videos if you would like to watch the 15-minute tutorial, and I have my other adjustments section video linked there as well. That's it. I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you and have a great day. Bye.